This is Inika McPherson, your favorite Olympic high jumper. I'm here with my boy, my man, my king, Taj, with People Street. And we here, and we ready to eat. Let go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back on People Street tonight, and we have a very distinguished guest up in here today. Can you tell us who's with us, please?
Hello, my name is Inika McPherson, Olympic high jumper. Thank you for having me, People Street.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. You know what I'm saying? You're a very illustrious person. You have done so many amazing things. I don't even know where to start. But I do want to start off by saying if y'all don't know Inika McPherson, here's some of her accolades. And I know I'm leaving a lot out, and I want you to fill them in because we on here to tell what it is.
Okay.
Three-time All-American from Port Arthur, Texas. Port Arthur. I'm not even going to tell y'all about Port Arthur, but if you're from the South, that name needs no introduction. Olympian. 2016 Olympics. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Rio de Janeiro.
Let go.
All right, Anika, get us up to speed, okay? Did you always know you wanted to be a high jump athlete?
Well, I was introduced to it in elementary school, and then a year went by. Then I went to a summer track program. But once I was introduced to it, I absolutely fell in love with it. I tried all different sports, but that in particular just caught my heart. So I was like, I'm in it ever
How
since.
old were you when you got started?
10 years old.
10 years old. Okay. Who was the coach? This coach.
Coach Bauer was my actual first high jump coach in ninth grade who led me to jump 6 feet and win state championship.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. That's
Yes.
crazy. Backing up a little bit, we all know from reading, not from personal experience, that to get to your level of athletic accomplishment, it requires an immense amount of sacrifice, an immense amount of support. Who was your earliest and most consistent support throughout your life?
Oh, that's easy. My mother and a lot of
Okay,
above.
mama.
Yes, sir.
What's mama's name?
Samantha McPherson.
Okay, all right. Shout out to Miss McPherson. All right. What was it like growing up in Port Arthur?
It was very true. Yeah. It was rough, but also I had a lot of community support as well, like the summer track club, put out the track club. If I didn't have that, I'm not sure quite where I would have been.
Do you come from an athletic family?
My mom said she ran a little bit in middle school. She was a dancer. My dad, he lifted weights. He played a little bit. My brother was an outstanding football player. Both of them, actually. Other than that, just
Okay. I think you also played basketball as well at some point, didn't you?
yes, I love basketball.
Okay, okay. So, how did you decide between what you wanted to pursue?
My mother did.
How'd she do that?
So you had Lincoln High School, who was known for track and field, and then you had Thomas Jefferson, who was known for basketball at the time, for the female basketball team. And I wanted to go to Thomas Jefferson to play basketball. And she's like, no, your bread and butter is in track and field. You're going to Lincoln. So that was it.
Wow, okay, mom made that decision. So when you got to Lincoln, what was it like at Lincoln?
Man, it was a true blessing. I had Miss Oral Smith. I had what is his name? His name is not coming to me right now, but he was the body lifter. He had us in a weight room. But with their guidance and leadership, it was no way any of us could fail.
Okay, okay. So get me up to speed then. When you were in high school, what was it like? First of all, what was your training regimen like in high school?
It was tough. We had to run a mile, I think, under 6 minutes to even get track shoes.
Dang.
Yeah, she's like, if your face ain't looking ugly, that means you ain't doing that. You ain't working.
Right, right.
Like, you ain't working? Then what you doing? And then we was in a weight room constantly. We was in a weight room. We was on the track and school and sleep. That's it.
Dang.
Yes,
Okay.
I was very disciplined at a young age.
Dang. Do you think that well, let me ask you this too, because I often wonder, you can't eat what everybody else eats, right? You haven't been able to do that since you were a little girl, right?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get accustomed to the dietary requirements of being a top athlete?
Well, it's funny that I always loved to eat natural fruits and vegetables and nuts and berries. I always had olives, like my coach Bauer, she always had olives ready for me. People like, you shouldn't be eating that. But I mean 2 bottles of olives and go jump 6 feet. So I'm like, shouldn't I be eating it? Or should I be eating it? So I was always and my mom cooked a lot. I mean, at one point we had a pear tree in the driveway. We're just very blessed to naturally want to eat correctly. Now, growing into older ages, I, dibble and dab in a little, fast food here and there, but I always ate pretty well.
Tell me what was the point that you knew that you were going to the next level competing in your sport?
I would say the day I jumped 6 feet, we stopped. We was driving to San Antonio, I believe. We stopped at a store. We was just browsing, and Miss Smith walked up to me. She was like, "You're a world class athlete, Anika." And at
Mm.
that point, I didn't know what she really meant by that because I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
the broad spectrum of how big track and field was. But when she said that, like it touched my spirit, and I'm like, I gotta show up for this woman. She believes in me. Like she
Mm-hmm.
always had the saying, "Believe it, achieve it." See it, believe it, achieve it. So I was very blessed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you hold some records and stuff down there?
Yes, definitely.
Tell us about your records.
I jumped 6'2" in high school. Around I was a junior, no sophomore in high school. I jumped 6'2".
What?
I
That's
made the world
crazy.
junior team. Yeah, we went to Italy at 14 years old. Yeah, it was outstanding. But it took a lot of diligence and hard work. Like I was always ready. You never had to wake me up to be ready for a track meet. I was up
Mm-hmm.
3 hours before
Mm.
doing step
Mm.
up in the room. Mom was like, "Oh, she ready."
Mm. Dang, dang. Okay. Okay. Well, first of all, when you went to Italy, where did y'all go?
Grosseto. It was like the farm area, and it was so beautiful. We was like we was on a farm, and it was just like the landscape and different like lofts. It was just an amazing time. Allison Felix was on the team.
Yes, indeed.
Adi was on the team. What's his name? Marshawn. A lot of great athletes that just went off in the sport. We all started on that team, and it's been amazing ever since.
Dang. Okay. How you spell Rosento?
Grosseto, Gressoto.
Okay, see, you be going places folk don't even know how to spell. You know what I'm saying? God took you a mighty, mighty long way, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Our first trip out the country.
All right.
And
So after
after
you
that, in
got back,
2007, I flew to Rio.
okay, okay. So after you got back from Grosseto, what happened?
I went back to school, and big tip, don't jump in spikes. Get you some high jump shoes. Because I actually got injured. I hurt the heel of my foot. But thankfully, I jumped so well, I've already had scholarships in the bag.
Hmm.
So it really didn't like hurt my chances of going to school. I could have went to any school in America, like anywhere. And I chose Cal Berkeley, so that was a blessing. I just came back and went back to work. I still was jumping around 6 feet, but I didn't jump the record that I wanted to jump. I wanted to jump the 6'4" record in high school. But yeah, that was the experience.
Well, I mean, obviously you a smart girl too. I mean, first of all, just much respect. Cal Berkeley is a world class, for those that know, world class academic institution on top of the athletics. What were the classes like?
Rough. But I actually graduated top of my department. I was actually on stage for African American Studies Department, Social Sciences.
Okay, now.
All of my tests were written tests. It was all literature. I was in a class, the School of Letters and Science. My test was like, "What do you know?" Not A, B, C, D.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so that's the reason I chose Cal's for the academics.
Okay. When you were doing your school visits and stuff, in addition to the academics, what stood out about Cal versus other places besides the academics? Because I hear it's beautiful in Berkeley too.
Oh yeah. I only did 2 visits. And I almost didn't go to Cal visit. I was like tired. I had just went to a Texas meet. I was traveling all around the United States, doing track meets, and I missed my flight. I was like, I ain't going. Mom was like, Anika, they rebooked your flight. You're going. I said, all right,
Yeah.
cool. When I got there, I absolutely fell in love with it. I did my research on the school too. I was like, oh, they number one public school in the world. that sounds about right. That sounds like the place I need to be. There wasn't so much good in track and field, but if you're gonna pay for my school, I'm going to the academic school. That's off top. So when I got there, it just felt like I fit in, because everybody always kind of looked at me like, oh, she's a weird one out and always out the box. So there is like nobody was looking at me differently. It was just like I just fell in love with the culture of it all. Yeah, I fell in love with the culture and some of the coaches that were there at the time. Some of them left by the time I left college, but it was a very good environment and community.
What was the biggest change in terms of your training that happened from high school to being in an institution like Cal?
Seeing as how I was actually doing weights as well as doing training, it wasn't a big major shift. I think the major shift was the academic wise, putting that into the mix because I really had to like hone in and like really like get on my books and studies and show up for weights at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of trained like a multi-eventer because my coach Ed Miller, he was a multi-event coach. It
Hmm.
was rough. It was tough. They had me strong. I gained that freshman 15, a little thick. So it was a beautiful time. I loved it. It was awesome.
What was your typical day like?
Typical day, wake up for school, wake up for weights. Weights were usually first. And then I'll, go back to my dorm, which was like way on the other side. I was staying with the basketball players and the football players. Marshawn Lynch was actually one of my neighbors, but all the other
What?
track athletes stayed in like the track house. I was like, if you paying for my school, I want to go to the best housing. They say it's all far. I said, don't worry about it. I'll make it.
Yeah.
I had to always truck it back up to the hill. That was kind of a bad decision. But after that, studying school, we had to go to study class because with athletics, we had to go to study hall. So I had to go to study hall, do my work, go to class. It was just hectic. It was like having 3, 4 jobs at one time. And I worked outside of school because I wanted some extra money.
Hmm.
It was rough, but I loved it. It was a great time.
How long did you lift weights in the morning? What was the time?
We left West probably like about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Dang, before class?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you got out of class, what did you do?
Oh, sometimes like it's like you said before class, yeah, I'll be in class, fall asleep. But after class, go back home, get some rest, because then I have to go. Well, I have to go to track practice. And sometimes I'll find times to go watch a movie or two. That was like my leisure. Go watch a movie, and I had friends who were like, "Come hang out." I'm like, "No, I got class tomorrow. Come hang out." They got me out a couple of times, and then I didn't have a roommate. For some reason, one of my roommates who was supposed to be my roommate, she got pregnant. She couldn't come, so I was like, I had the whole semester just alone in a whole suite.
Kicking it.
Yeah,
Straight
just
kicking it.
yeah, straight kicking it. But I had some friends like, I'm gonna spend the night. I was like, the whole purpose of me not having a roommate is not having a roommate. So it was nice. Yeah.
That's nice. So tell me, were you nervous before your first collegiate track event?
But yeah, I'll be nervous for all my track events. If I ain't nervous, I ain't ready.
Do you remember where it was?
Well, you take me way back. I can't say that I do.
Okay, okay. So what sticks out the most from your athletic career at Cal?
The most I would say it would be the camaraderie, um, the team. From middle school to high school, it wasn't really like a team, but at Cal, they brought it together. Like we're in this together because usually track and field is an individual sport.
Yeah.
At Cal, we was like I love the community of it all. So that was a major difference because I was always just on my own. So yeah, that was just one of the major differences, and I
Hmm.
loved it. We had
Hmm.
like different like we're gonna have a team event, like we're gonna do like we had to come up with plays before and stuff like that. It was fun.
I claim that I ran track in high school, which is to say I was horrible at it. But one thing I did learn from being out there is that you gotta be. First of all, it's hard. It's just so hard. And if you out there in the heat, and if your track is black, oh my God. So
No,
but
I'm laughing because I used to faint sometimes. Like they had to put me on heart monitors.
girl, what you saying?
Yeah, I was like, huh? I was like, what's going on with you? It's like we gonna find out. My cholesterol. I did every heart test you could count.
Girl, look.
Pass it out.
But you know what's so crazy is in researching you, for those that don't know, I mean, you've jumped 6'4" before, right?
Yeah, 6'6", and
Six
that's
six.
always that was my goal in high school.
But you're only 5'4", right?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So let me, one of the reasons I like to do these interviews, Anika, honest to God, I want people to be able to take some inspiration from y'all that come on the show and let them know that no matter if you ain't tall, if you ain't this, whatever you perceive your limitation to be, it's not.
Yes. Yes.
What do you? But there are a bunch of D1 athletes out there, not many Olympians. What set you apart? Do you think?
Well, I grew up in a church house, so
Okay,
I was told anything is possible with Christ, and I believe that to the heart to the day I die. So you tell me that, and I gotta go. It's gonna happen. As long as I stay steadfast and stay diligent and stay being servant and being disciplined and having sacrificing. Now, when I don't do that, you're gonna go on the road. But when I do that, everything is on to you. Those who believe.
got you, got you. What was the path for you, for those that don't know? How do you go from being a top athlete in the nation to becoming an Olympic athlete? What is that process like?
I think the number one thing is to believe in yourself. Having that belief installed in me from a childhood, my mother doing everything. My mom be like, "What you gotta do when you gotta be there? What you got a flight? You need a hotel? You need shoes? What you need?" And I don't know where she got it from, but she made it happen. So having people believe in you to that extent, and having belief in yourself, like the kids that I coach now, I'm like, the only thing separating you from this person is your belief in yourself.
Mm.
So once you just really have that belief with no doubt and have that burning desire, ain't nothing could stop
So, did you, for those that don't know, Anika also is the owner of a fantastic company that trains top athletes, Quantum Leaps Athletics. Is that correct?
you. Yes.
Tell us about it.
So Quantum Leap Athletics, I mean, it's all in the name. I believe if you're here, like you said, from being a top in the nation to being an Olympian, that Olympian existed. But I had to believe in that Olympian and I had to become that Olympian in order to meet it there. So that was my quantum leap. And I want others to know that, hey, it's possible for you to do that as well. You just have to
Hmm.
seek.
Hmm. We gonna give you a little pat on the back right now. Not that you need any, because you got enough space, but you just had some kids that performed really well this weekend, right? Can you
Yes.
shout them out? Tell us who they are, Anika. Tell us.
Let's go, Kobe Preteen, and he's a junior. He just jumped 6'6" today. He won regional qualifiers out here in Texas. He's going to state. And then we have London. She's out there. She jumped 5'6". She went regional qualifier. She got second place, and she's going to state qualifier. And then we have my cousin Tay. He didn't make it in a high jump, but he made it in a long jump, and he's going to state as well. So we got 3 quantum leapers going to state championship, and I believe they can make the podium, if not win it. It's all up to them. Put the work in these last 2 weeks.
Girl, hey, congrats, congrats.
Congrats to them.
And congrats to them. Let's get back. Let's go. Say the name. Cousin
London,
Tay.
cousin Tay,
Cousin
and
Tay. Where
Kobe.
you at, Cousin Tay?
Cousin
And what's
Tay,
the first
they got
brother's name?
Kobe.
Kobe. With a name
Yeah.
like Kobe, how could you not jump 6'6"? I
And
mean,
he's a
he got the
basketball
name,
player.
don't he?
Yeah, that part. And they got a lovely family. They have great
Oh,
support. Yeah.
would you say that the support that your athletes have is critical to the whole thing?
Yeah, because you got talented athletes out there right now that probably can jump 7'3", but they ain't got no support.
Dang. How do
That's another goal of mine with Quantum Leap Athletics is to support the community in which do not have the support and be able
mm,
to sponsor athletes, to be able to bring up people who really want it and can't, some people can't afford it, you know? So
hmm
just having clinics and things of that nature just to teach kids, hey, there's a way out. And I always say, if you got a talent, find it, own it, and make them pay for
I heard that.
it.
Now, do you provide like personalized workout programs and stuff for the kids?
Oh yeah, I never do like a cookie cutter approach. It's all up to the athlete because I got to meet the athletes where they are. I actually had, and there are two other athletes who did well today as well. Got third place and fourth place. They didn't make it to state, but they did pretty well. I have KJ. He went 6'8" a couple of weeks ago. He's just PR. I used to coach when he was like 9, 10 years old.
6'8".
Came back 6'8".
I can't even imagine that, honestly.
So it just be like little. Sometimes it just be the simple, basic things that they need to learn in order to make that next leap. And it's just because they don't know that they don't have that knowledge. Once you have that knowledge and you apply it, hey, the world is yours.
Knowledge is power.
Let's go. Applied knowledge.
Anika, Anika, for y'all, listen, Anika drove 3 hours back and forth, right? Today.
Yes.
So she tired, y'all. So I'm gonna get right to it. Listen, the people want to know, Anika, what are the mechanics of the high jump? If you were to describe them to a person who's not a high jumper, are there stages? Tell us the stages between the running and the, all of that.
Okay. I tell high jumpers you have to be three type of athletes. You have to be fast and like a sprinter. You have to be explosive like a thrower, and then you have to be as mobile and flexible as a gymnast.
Mm.
So with speed and power and mastering your flop, not nobody else's flop, with the right approach, you're gonna fly. And that takeoff, being at the right angle at takeoff, plays a lot your success.
Okay.
And I
How
say
do
the
you?
stronger you are, the higher you're gonna jump.
Okay. So, I guess it goes without saying, y'all do a lot of plyo. Can you give me an example of like what is kind of a basic plyo workout that you might prescribe for somebody?
Let's see what I'm doing right now. Frog jump. Hey, frog jumps. You want to do some straight leg bounds. You want to do regular bounds. Straight leg bounds is key for high jump because that's the same motion you're doing when you're actually jumping. Depth jump is my favorite. And then you have throws. Remember, I said you got to be explosive like a thrower. So you want to get you some med ball throws in there. So with those, just you don't want to overcrowd the mind. With those four basic plyos, you can go a long way just being consistent.
Mm, with those four basic plyos.
Yeah.
Is that is that a 7 day a week thing, or how do you factor in recovery and all that, Anika?
You would go 2 days, take 1 day off. 2 days, take 1 day off. No more than three, but I always recommend two because you need that break. You need that because your muscles don't grow unless you're resting. Sleep is very important. A lot of people don't get enough sleep when they're training. That's the, that's the only time your muscles grow is when you sleep. So you got to put
Gotcha.
the phone down and sacrifice whatever's going on in the world and go to sleep.
How many hours of sleep you recommend your athletes get?
At least 9.
Dang.
8 would
Okay.
be, yeah, 8 would be the absolute least, but I would want you to get 9.
See, that's another thing. It's hard for young people to be in bed 9 hours. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you have somebody dedicated like that, man. They serious about their business, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
In addition to your training, you have endorsed some supplements too, as well. Is that right?
Oh yes. I'm actually working with ISO Fitness. I have and the link is in my bio. I'm learning them as well. We got Neurosport. It's really good. Vitamins. It's like a multivitamin pack. It's Sheree, she like to say it's like 10 salads in one little pouch. So it's really good. And
Just so we're clear, Anika, can I ask you something? You
yes,
are talking about who gonna check me, boo, Sheree, right?
check me, boo.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Yeah, so she put me on to the company and I really love it. It's called Total Life Changers.
How did you meet Sheree?
Just over the phone, online, just liking her posts. Because I'm always about women empowerment. If I see something or someone that's really trying to make a change in the community, she loves fitness. I love fitness. I'm like, you go, girl. And I used to watch the show, so I'm like, hey, she's always in her own lane, and she's always stayed steadfast in what she actually wants to accomplish in life. So anybody like that, I'm rooting for.
Sheree, let me tell you right now. I'm glad you hooked up with Anika, and I just want to get you on the show to say, who gonna check me, boo? Holla
That
at your
part.
boy. Tell you that right now. Anika, what was the Olympics like? Do you remember
Amazing.
any of it?
I remember all of it. the people, like I said, in 2007, I made the Pan American team. That's
Ooh,
when I really
okay.
felt like I was doing something. Because I was on the team with Jamie Waco. I'm going to the physical therapy here in the ice bath. I'm like, what? So I looked up to him, and we was in Rio. So going back to Rio was just a blessing. My mother being there, my coaches from high school being there. Like I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it. It was such an amazing time. I'm about to cry.
Mm,
But just
mm,
having my mom be out there, and that was her first time going international. Like just
mm.
having her have that experience from through me, through her work,
Yes,
to be
yes.
able to be there. Yeah,
You like her ministry.
it was absolutely amazing.
Dang. Okay. What's your mama name again?
Samantha McPherson.
Samantha. All right,
Yeah.
Miss Samantha. Listen, listen. We gonna take the time out to shout out Miss Samantha.
Whose birthday was on the 17th?
Happy, but let's see. What that was yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Happy birthday, Miss Samantha.
Happy birthday.
If I was down, is she still in Port Arthur?
Yeah, she's in Beaumont.
I had some partners from Beaumont. Yeah, what Miss Samantha, I'm telling you, happy birthday. If I was there, I'd play some Frankie Beverly for you. All right. Just so you know. Because you know black folk, we plays the Frankie Beverly, don't we?
I saw him in concert.
You did?
Yes.
When?
That was, I want to say, the year before last in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta.
Oh yeah. Girl.
Mind blowing.
Mind blowing. Legend, right?
That legend even count for him.
You know what I'm
Just,
saying?
yeah.
Frankie's
Out of
something
this
different in
world.
our community, right?
Out of this world.
Like we have we got plenty of music legends, but Frankie was like almost like a revered, like he's revered like the greatest people in our culture. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
loved Frankie of every age. You know what I'm saying? So
Man.
rest in peace up there to Frankie.
Yep.
Anika, 2024 Worlds, you sustained a really bad injury. Is that right?
Yeah, actually it was at USA Nationals in February last year.
Yeah, USA Nationals.
Completely tore my Achilles, ruptured it on my penultimate leg, not on my takeoff leg, but
How did you get through that? I know that was a dark time.
man, it was such a hard time, and I've been through a lot of hard times. And sometimes I look back on myself and I'm like, oh, ye of little faith. Like, why would you think God would take you this far to leave you by yourself? So
James
I,
Cleveland.
huh?
Jane Cleveland, don't believe he brought me this far to leave.
Don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. But sometimes when you're in that deep and down, I felt like, because I was like, oh, I can't do anything. I can't walk. I'm like, how I'm gonna work if I can't walk? I was like, I'm looking up, how to phone the what's it called in-house online phone call, like work online and stuff like that. But that was my major thing. It's like, how am I going to work to pay my bills?
Yeah,
So,
no doubt.
um, other than that, I just stay steadfast. I have a beautiful team, Icon Management. They made sure that I had the right doctors. My mother was there from day one. She's always been there. My physical therapist, Bruce Stockton at Texas Children Medical, they sent him 2 days a week for a year.
Mm,
And everybody's like, "You still going to physical therapy?" He's still saying, "Come." So he said, "We're gonna see this thing through to
yes.
the world championships." And to have somebody like that, I ain't just been so blessed by the Most High to the point where I always have everything I need.
Mm. You do
And we're
physical
here now.
therapy. You do physical
Yeah,
therapy 2 days a week for the
yeah,
last year. In
yeah.
addition, in addition to everything else you got on. I mean, you
Yes, sir.
got going on. And I know that you're a spiritual woman. I can
Yes, sir.
hear it when you talk. I just want to say, I just wish you nothing but the best. But
Thank you.
one thing I noticed about you too, you got that drip. You got your own style. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You got your own I mean, we make it do what it do.
Yeah,
You
looking
know what I'm
good.
saying? Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you. And
yeah.
likewise. Have you
Thank you.
always had a sense of style?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot from my auntie Deborah. She always had style. I'm like, and she used to give me like her And my cousin Scotty, like when she's done with her clothes, they bring her clothes to me. So I would attribute a lot of style to them. And my mom was always fast. She's a diva. And just traveling the world, like I love fashion. I love fashion. So I
Oh my
think
God.
if it's call you, drip it.
Do you have certain fabrics that you like more than others? Because it looked like you got a little what is that? Is that a snakeskin print or what is that?
No, I like paisley. You know, I like a lot of paisley.
Okay,
I
like Prince.
yeah, I love Prince.
Mhm. You see, you got the hat on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I see you. I see you. When it's all over, when it's all over, what you want people to say about you?
That I was a diligent servant. So not only to the Most High, but to His children.
I heard that. You also, in the process of serving others, you have inspired others, but you also are paying it forward. And I know that you want to talk about you have a big event coming up May 10th. Is that right? Tell us tell us all about it.
So it's a high jump only competition. You don't really have those in the United States. I haven't seen one yet. We actually did what is it called? Like a street type of high jump competition, like in a grocery store one time, which was amazing. But you never had this type of competition in the United States for just high jump only. It's Inika McPherson High Jump Only Invitational. It's on May 10th, 11 o'clock at St. John's High School in Houston, Texas. If you're not there, you're probably square.
11 a.m. St. John's High School, Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir.
H-Town. Dino
H-Town.
and Shazam. You know what I'm saying? If you know about that, you already know. Rap a lot. You know what I'm saying? Houston, MD Anderson. You know, all
Yeah.
of those good things that are down in Houston. I'm not gonna hold you much longer, but I know you have a poem that you want to share with us, right?
Yes, definitely.
Do your thing.
All right, cool. So, I definitely believe in the power of the word and affirmations and really speaking life into your life. So, this poem is a tribute to just that. Stretch it, twist it, make it grow like a river, let it flow. 3 times fast as hair will grow. This is my will, so move it be. I am beautiful, black, and courageous. Infinite powers from my Father who lives infinitely within me. Strong, abundant, and powerful, that's me. Masculine and feminine. Duality at its finest. Happy, growing, flowing, divineness. I am light. I am energy. I am you within me. Strong, abundant, vibrant. Here, no fear, just faith. Dreaming, awake. Stretch it, twist it, make it grow. Like a river, let it flow. Grow. This is my will be.
Girl, look. First of all, not only is that inspiring, but you want to talk about blowing, you can blow.
Thank
I
you.
know you grew up in the church. I know
You
you grew
know it.
up
I
in
was
the
just sitting up.
church. That's what that is. That's what that is. How did you get inspired to write that?
I actually was getting into the word and speaking life into myself, and I actually was getting out of the shower one day, and then the works. I am a poet, and I like to write. I love to write, and it always comes to me from the spirit. It's from the Holy Spirit. It's not from me, and I just let it be the vessel.
Who your favorite? Do you have favorite poets?
Nikki G
I knew you were about to say that, girl. I knew you were about to say that. Come on now. Come on.
all day
Nikki
long.
Giovanni. Come on now. Legend. Rest in peace to her too. She just passed last 6 months.
Rest in
You know what I'm
peace.
saying? Anika, listen, listen. It's been such a pleasure
Thank
talking to
you.
you tonight. It's been such a pleasure. Everybody, tell them your socials, man, so that they can follow you.
So follow me on Anika_McPherson. Very simple on all platforms. Thank you so much, Tosh, for having me. I really appreciate you reaching out and having me be on your platform and having me share my story. I love what you are doing. You're
Thank
such an innovator and a provider and being a servant to everyone. And I appreciate it. I wish you many blessings on your endeavors.
life.